It's essentially a cost comparison analysis on popular protein options out there. So cost per gram of protein, I think that's the biggest metric to look at, because you can see the serving size might be okay, but then you're only getting 15 grams of protein in a bar, for example. So for me, I buy the 10 kg bag of Canadian protein. I've been doing that for years. I don't have an affiliation with them. I think they have an affiliate program, but it's not even worth my time. 5%. So their margins are thin, but that means for us, we get good value. So 4 cents, 4.2 cents per gram of protein, a little over $1 per scoop, right? And you get 27 grams per scoop. So strictly from a best bang for your buck perspective, buying bulk online from a Canadian supplier, free shipping is the way I generally go. Unless I'm short, yeah, it's called premium whey protein. And it's an isolate concentrate blend, but less than 127 calories a scoop, I believe, and 27 protein. So pretty much in nature, it's tough to beat the macronutrients on protein, whey protein, right? So it is a staple of my diet. Good bioavailability means you absorb a lot of it. Now, whole foods come with more micronutrients and they might fill you up. You might digest them a little slower, all good things. But we're looking at this from sort of a cost perspective to start. So those are the routes I would go. I can certainly share the links to those if you want to consider Canadian protein. And then there's Lean Fit. I don't know enough about this brand to know if it's quality. Like I like that Canadian protein kind of speaks to bodybuilders and they have like the full amino acid profile. You can trust that it's a good product. Lean Fit, I feel like it's set a little bit to appease a budget shopper. And the scoop is a little bit bigger. So it comes in at around the same per serving. But I would trust Canadian protein more for quality. But in a pinch, I have purchased it before, especially if I don't want to wait for something to get shipped over. And that's an option. I think it's a blue bag. Might be white now. Can't remember. They always rebrand, it seems. There's another Canadian company called Revolution online, and they have more flavor options, and 15-pound tub comes in fairly close. Yeah, Rain, if you like the taste and texture, that's one thing. Just bear in mind, quality is what I'm after, right? The more leucine content, the more quality, the more you're going to get from that, right? So I'm not certain that it matches up in terms of quality, taste aside. All right. You see a lot of I use that one. So you guys might want to consider going online to get a better product and then kind of cross compare. So obviously Popeyes sends me free stuff to give to you guys, and we have that discount with them. So I'd like to think I send people there, but I don't necessarily because you pay a lot more. So be on yourself. That's from Popeyes. Sometimes they have deals, right, where you can get buy one, get one 50% off, but usually the 50% off is on the lower price product. So you have to get like 2 full tubs of protein to make that make sense. But as you can see, it's a bit more per gram and per serving. Yeah, and that's factoring in the coupon. Same with Magnum. That's another product there that's pretty good, but again, paying almost double compared to online. Then the meats come in. Now, you're obviously paying more for meat from the grocery store, especially these days. But, you know, there's a time and place for both. And I think Whole Foods are still the big winner. It's just, you know, for convenience sake, so, you know, whey shakes make sense. And these were just prices my admin found in a coupon flyer. I don't think they're even really discounted rates. So bear in mind, there's some fluctuations in the prices of those, but they do come in a lot higher, right? Close to $2 a serving for chicken. Beef generally is a little closer to chicken, but it seems to be a lot higher these days. And then I have found pork tenderloin at a lot lower price. She happened to find it at full price here, it looks like. But generally speaking, they should be all around the same, $1 to $2 per serving. And a serving is like roughly 25 grams protein. All right. Cool. So with that in mind, kind of a short list, just purely based on budget. Make the choice that makes sense for you. Taste-wise, of course, is a factor, but quality matters too. So that's where these products come in for me. And I probably wouldn't go otherwise unless I ran out and I was in between. That's my option A for sure. Now the drinks and bars we'll get into, like you can see the Lanny New ready to drink. That's from Costco, paying quite a bit more per serving, but there's a real convenience factor to that because it's already pre-mixed for you. And Premier Protein, same thing here, right? Roughly $2.60 per serving. Keep in mind with the ready-to-drink shakes that are already mixed, there is some denaturing that happens, meaning you're not quite getting the protein that's on the label. A variety of factors in that, but shelf life, powder just has a more stable shelf life because it's only being mixed when you are ready to drink it, right? It's not sitting on a shelf pre-mixed. So again, convenience aside, I'm talking about best bang for your buck, most quality. Whey powder is going to win over bars and shakes, pre-made shakes for sure. Okay. Already kind of talked about this. I think whole meats provide the best nutritional value with the micronutrients, B vitamins, zinc, blah, blah, blah. Cost can vary, of course. I don't think we want to go purely to a shake-based diet. Your digestive system will suffer from that. Plus, you're just not going to get as good results as you would from largely a whole foods-based diet. But I consider whey protein, even though it's processed, high-quality source of food, especially for our purposes when we're trying to keep our calories in check and maximize our protein intake. All right. Any questions? Feel free to drop them in the chat. Just wanted to get into a quick, a short list of bars. So if you look back on the past chart, these are comparable to the cost per meat. So yeah, they taste good, but not ideal, right? In a pinch, yes, I'm a big bar guy here and there because I like the taste and I'll sacrifice a bit of quality. But if you're looking at it from a cost perspective, you're going to get a lot further value from powders versus bars. You're looking at, and these prices are about as low as I see. Usually $3-4 for the real top brands. Pure Protein's kind of the budget option there, and I'm skeptical of the quality there a bit. If you look at the label, it's like a blend of soy and different types of protein. All right, so more or less already said this. Bars are not cost efficient, but certainly convenient. And just, yeah, Cranked. I don't like the badmouth local because I love what they're doing, but it's double the calories and fat from fat as protein. I like them as a treat because they do make a damn good bar. But again, for our perspective, yeah, if you're only eating a quarter of a bar, that's discipline. But yeah, 290 calories and 16 grams of protein per bar. You're paying probably $4 a bar. Obviously, if it was too bad to come up on that cost analysis chart off the hop. Is it 19? Okay, I thought it was 16. I'm gonna double check that on you. Okay. All right. So that's it for the presentation part. Any questions? Go ahead, Diane.
On the protein beverages, you say that they're less accurate in protein because of the storage. I mean, is that the same with the protein bars?
I don't believe it's the same with the protein bars because the powder is still intact. It's pre-mixed, so the potency can be altered a little bit the longer it's on the shelf. That's at least what the research has shown. I don't know if there's been studies on bars, and there probably has. We're comparing the label to what's actually in it. I would imagine it's a little bit closer to what is promised. But yeah, I mean, those Premier Protein are excellent tasting. Not saying you should forego them completely, but you know, from a cost perspective, not quite as much protein as you think you're getting, that kind of stuff. So something to consider
Okay.
is shifting away from those a bit. Okay. Yeah, just a footnote on that. You know, fat has double the calories of protein, so that's where I said double the fat calories. The grams are comparable, obviously. And we're always trying to get that ratio at least 3-to-1 protein to carb and fat calories if it's a bar or shake. All right. Any other questions on this?
Budget aside, Mitch, what would be the best protein bar out there? I don't know, say for taste and quality. Budget's not an option. I'm just curious.
Yeah, David bars are the best by far. Hard to find over the counter in Canada. I don't think they even really broke into the market yet. You can order off their site. I bought 5 boxes for the price of 4, free shipping, and it came in at close to the high end of the comparables I showed on the chart there. But it's crazy how good the ratio is. Sorry, there's my I get asked pretty much by everybody within the first week what supplements I recommend. I'm not really big on supplements in general, but they do have a place to address shortfalls, and certainly whey protein and creatine and those kind of things are very helpful. So that guide I've linked in the chat, that just opens up my short list where I give an explanation for each. Yeah, and Steve, there's links within that document right to the product I use. Got Cassian, Cindy. Yeah, that's just a slower digesting option. So some people use it in a blend before bed, you know, as a way to avoid getting hungry or waking up in the middle of the night. I wouldn't say there's one that's better or worse. Just timing matters, right? Like caseин's a big in cottage cheese, which makes it like more filling, slower digesting, which in theory should help in a calorie deficit. So I don't personally buy casein whey, but it's certainly an option for that reason alone. Hopefully that answers your question. Not a concern though. They're all good. Okay. Anything else on this topic? Definitely don't want you guys to be discouraged from using bars and shakes. I find it's tough to just grab and go. It's super convenient. Just bear in mind, if you have the option, to defer to the best. Okay. Awesome. All right. Any general questions? Now that we have you here, captive audience. I'm going to pull up that link from the start. Again, the member appreciation barbecue moved to the 4th. So RSVP on that link if you can make that date now. Yeah, Steve, the Canadian protein carries it. That's where I get it. I don't think you can go wrong. Pretty much everywhere is fine. It's fairly cheap to manufacture, so you can trust that most products out there are legitimate. Trying to think, someone said sometimes there's a binding agent in it that can really disrupt your stomach. I don't know if it's even on labels though, or how to know how to identify that. I don't get that issue as long as I don't go too high a dose. Yeah. Again, with lean fit, I'm not sure about their whey product. So creatine, I would question as well. But if you've seen the benefits from it, probably fine. I'm wondering if lean fit was tested. There was years back a widespread test on a bunch of whey protein products, and kind of rank them, how closely they resembled what was on the label versus not. So I'll try to dig that up. I think it was LabCorp protein test. If I can find it after, I'll send it to you. All right. Okay. Can cut it a little short today if there's nothing else. You guys, if you obviously have questions beyond that, fire away. With
got
creatine,
into the
timing doesn't really
creatine.
matter.
So I just had another question on creatine. I realized
Yeah.
that on the weekend I just totally forgot to take creatine for like 3 days in a row.
Mhm.
I know I'm not going to die, but what's the impact of not taking it consistently, and does it need to be at the same time? I've heard different stories and I'm wondering what's true or what's
Yeah, like there used to be this theory that you have to have a loading phase of super dosing it 20 grams a
Yeah.
day for 5 days to saturate your cells. In theory, yeah, you get results faster and you get to that point faster, but I always recommend just standard dose, try not to miss a dose, and you'll get the benefits over time. So missing 3 days, I wouldn't try to make up the difference. But there is some cool stuff. The higher you go in dose, the more brain benefits. They're showing as much as 15 to 20 grams a day can almost eliminate the dysfunction that happens from sleep deprivation in like the short term. So it's pretty neat from that perspective. It might be used in Alzheimer's research. For an aging brain, creatine could be a real superpower. So all that's still early stages. I would just say try to take it at the same time each day. For me, that's around my workout because I can remember to do it. Otherwise, I
I've
don't.
even heard that you shouldn't take it right around the workout, that you should be taking it at a different time. So like I just
Oh
go,
God.
whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that deep in the weeds. Daily dose. Yeah, if you're consistent with it, like anything else, matters less. Like when you work out, it matters less than just working out. Same idea with this.
Mm.
I'd argue
Okay.
is just trying to be consistent with it. And I usually put it into like a flavored shake, so I enjoy the taste of it, and that's around my workout, so that's why it gets done then. But you do you, whenever it works for you. All right, Diane.
I've found in protein bars, and I have them as a snack every day, different ones. But there's a lot of these fake sugars, like different that I was told by a few people that really are not good for you. I used to make them protein bars or protein bites, that kind of thing before without all those ingredients. But it's just so much easier buying the protein bars, even though some of the sugars or fake sugars they contain are not that good for you every day.
Yeah, I mean the poison's in the dose. Like I don't know if you're referring to sugar alcohols, which can be
Yeah,
those can make you kind of run to the bathroom if they're in higher amounts. Xylitol, maltitol, I believe, is the one that's in a lot of protein bars. It must give it some
yeah,
softens it up or something, right? Not all bars have those. If you're talking like stevia, which is probably fine, most
yeah,
of them have sucralose, which is Splenda. And again, I'm a big fan of poison in the dose. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about a little bit of Splenda each day,
yeah,
with what we know at least. You know, if we're mainlining it all day long, then sure there might be a disruption to our gut health, whatever else. But
yeah.
like anything, you're having one bar a night. I mean, that's not something
Okay,
to concern yourself
okay.
with. Yeah. And they work well as a treat, I find. Like if you're really craving a chocolate bar, a protein bar, yeah, it's not as good as a whey protein shake, but if it real satisfies that craving, then awesome. And you still get, 20 grams of protein, and as long as it fits into your caloric amount for the day, that's where they can come in handy. So I think you're using it for the right reasons, the right time. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, we can let you guys go and be on your way. Hopefully this is helpful. If you missed the link to the supplement guide, just let me know. I can send it to you as a PDF as well. Is that a bye, Jason, or I have a question? Okay, I know you're driving, so. Okay.
You can send me that link as a DM.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whatever the cool kids are calling it nowadays, that'd be great.
URL, I will do too. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.